Homefront the Revolution review. What's it really worth? Homefront the Revolution is an open-world, first-person shooter video game developed by Dambuster Studios and published by Deep Silver. And today, I'm going to be doing a full review of the game and give you my thoughts, what was good, what was bad, what I think the game is really worth. Homefront the Revolution was released on May 17, 2016 on PS4, Xbox One, and Windows. You play as Ethan Brady in the year 2029 in an alternate timeline as he tries to stage a resistance movement against the army of a North Korean invasion in the city of Philadelphia. Your objectives are to take control of the 3 different zones that the Korean army occupies, from the red zone to the yellow, then the green. As you progress through the different zones, the game gets harder. Now let's break this game down and see what it's all about. Graphics. Homefront doesn't look that bad, but there is some issues. Now I played it on the Xbox One, and to me, some of the character models and the way they talked seemed a bit off and just weird looking. You wouldn't think that wouldn't be much of an issue with today's technology, but I guess not. I did like the lighting and shadowing around the environment. Did a good job with that, but compared to most video games nowadays that didn't have issues like this and are amazing, you're gonna need to step up your game and come out with something that will make people say, wow! Music. The music in this game isn't too bad. I find it suits the game pretty well. It's got a very liberating kind of tone to it, but it's not really noticeable. I played through most of the game and I completely forgot there was music. It just never drew me in or caught my attention. Story. I actually kind of enjoyed the story in this game. The idea that Korea was the head leader in technology and weapon distribution and everyone bought from them. And they planted triggers in all of their stuff, and when the time came, they activated it and it made everything useless, and that's how they took over. The game takes place 4 years after the war started, and you're part of the resistance that is trying to fight for freedom. Honestly, that seems so cool to me, just because why not? Look at all the products we buy overseas from different countries. Who'd say it couldn't actually happen? Content. What you get in Homefront really isn't too bad. You get a little bit of everything. I wasn't able to find exactly how long the campaign is, but Deep Silver says that it could take up to 30 hours, depending if you want to do all the objectives and explore everything. For an open world first-person shooter, that's pretty good. Multiplayer, you don't get too much, but you have a few options. There's a good customizable character creation with 23 different backgrounds, which determines the starting skills. Customizable gear and clothing, upgrades for your guns, a skill tree, purchasable gear crates, 6 game modes, and 6 maps. So if you're really into character gear and unlocking equipment all the time, then you probably really enjoy it. Gameplay. Okay, so now the gameplay. Overall, I didn't mind the campaign and the multiplayer, but it wasn't anything really special. Nothing different. You go around area to area taking over forts. It's very open world, so you can go do what you want when you want. But that's pretty much it. It's not a bad idea, but there's nothing that keeps me entertained for hours. Loading screens were a little long. Every time you would complete a new objective or get a new one, the game would randomly freeze for a second or two. It was kind of annoying. Weapons were done very well, cool customizable features, and being able to change the style of the gun in mid-combat was very useful. Getting to ride a motorcycle around and zooming by enemies as they try to shoot you was fun. The military forces were a little generic for me though. Looks like something from Call of Duty. When you have to take over forts, half the time you don't even have to kill anyone. Just sneak by them and activate the beacon and it was yours, and all the enemies would just vanish. When you're in a building and it's daylight out, you couldn't even see through the windows. The light would blind you, making it hard to see the enemies outside. the multiplayer was okay to me. You play as a team of 4 soldiers, either trying to destroy something or protect something. I could see how some people would enjoy it with all the customizable features for your character and guns, but after that, and getting into the game, it was just whatever. You have 6 game modes to choose from, but with only 6 maps, it can get kinda repetitive. Being able to change the difficulty of the game modes does give it some more replay to see if you could beat it, but that's about it. Okay, so now the final verdict on what I think this game is really worth. Now in Canada, as usual, we pay more. It is $80. And in the US, you're looking at $60, the average retail price for a game. So this is what you get. Maybe 30-hour campaign, multiplayer, 6 game modes, 6 maps, a lot of character and gun customization, repetitive story missions and multiplayer missions, annoying bugs and glitches, an open world environment, no real wow factor to it to draw people in. So in the end, I don't think this game is really worth the $60, $80 price tag. In my own opinion, I feel like they should have just focused on one thing and it would have made this game better. Like the campaign was good. It was so-so, but nothing special that was really interesting that made me want to come back for more. It was just a lot of repetitiveness to it. And at the multiplayer, it was almost the same thing. Like it wasn't very in-depth. Nothing really too special to draw me in and make me want to keep playing multiplayer. But I feel if they would have just focused on the campaign, didn't have multiplayer in it, this game could have been really, really good. So I feel that an overall maybe $40 price tag for this game is reasonable enough. It's not too high, not too low, and I mean you do get a 30-hour campaign, which is pretty good for an open world first-person shooter. So it's not too bad. I just hope that if they do decide to make another Homefront game, that they learn from this one and it will maybe focus on one thing, or you know, they did learn enough that they could make the story and multiplayer better. Alright guys, well I'm going to end my review there of Homefront the Revolution, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I do this every week. I do a review and a gameplay of the game. So this week, like I said, I did obviously Homefront the Revolution, so I'll put a card up top for the gameplay, so you'll check that out if you have no idea what I'm talking about. And then next week, I'll be doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Stay tuned for that. Now, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think of Homefront the Revolution in my review, and make sure to check out some of my other stuff too. You know what you gotta do, you know how to do it, guys. Peace out. Cha! Gives us isn't too bad for a first-person shooter nowadays. You have about a 13-hour campaign, depending on what difficulty you play it on, which isn't too bad, considering most first-person shooter games like Call of Duty,